There has been a mystery floating around America for nearly 424 years. Still unsolved, still a complete mystery. The basic story? John White, the governor of the Roanoke Island settlement, returned from a 3-year trip to England in search of supplies, only to return to discover it vacant. He discovered everyone was gone, but there was no sign of war, houses were gone, and cannons disappeared. There was no evidence left behind. The only 2 clues were the word crow carved on a palisade and the word crow carved into a nearby tree.
115 colonists gone, without any trace as to whatsoever happened.
So what did happen?
Where did they go?
Will we ever find out?
Is Illuminati associated with this?
Wait.
What?
This is supposed to be an informational script on the Lost Roanoke settlement, not a conspiracy.
Oh, right. Forgot.
Prepare a whole 10 minutes of your life for the Lost Roanoke settlement, a still unsolved mystery.
So, to kick this video off, what are we going to talk about first?
Important people that were significant to the Lost Roanoke Island colony, I suppose.
Okay, well, who are we going to talk about first?
One person that is worth noting is Sir Richard Relay. He was the guy who founded the Roanoke colony in the first place.
You mean losing all the colonists somehow? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Little cough.
He was the overseer for all the projects of the colony. Essentially, he was the owner of the Roanoke Island colony, and he planned and created things for the settlement itself.
Is this video over with? Because I'm not much help. I can't find things I lose by myself, let alone a whole colony some guy lost.
No, this video is not over yet. Why do you always want to quit things so early?
It's too much work. I do think I do remember a few people that are significant and help us get this video over with faster.
Okay, fire away.
Well, why do I gotta fire away?
Because you knows.
Well, I can telepathically send it to you.
Bruh.
Alright, so we already talked about Relay and how he was the creator and owner of Roanoke, right? Another significant person was John White. John White came on both journeys to America and was elected governor of Roanoke.
Do you know anything about Eleanor Dare?
Who?
Okay, no. Well, okay. She was the governor of White's daughter, and she was also one of the many that went missing.
Well, where did she go?
We don't know. She was missing.
That's a shame. She was good looking as John. Well, never mind about that.
Anyways, Virginia Dare also went missing, and she was the governor's granddaughter.
Oh, well, where did she?
Missing! She went missing! Don't even finish your question.
It's not what I was going to ask. I was going to ask where did she go, because maybe we could take her to her favorite place to eat or something.
Yeah, we're gonna take a 427-year-old dead missing girl to a place she probably never even heard of.
Fine.
Smart thinking.
Whatever. Hey, wasn't there a guy named Philip or something? The 1 or 2 people that led the first voyage to Roanoke?
Philip Amatus and Arthur Barlow, yes.
And they look something like this.
Ah, who put that there?
What, where?
The last picture. The old guy from Jurassic Park was on there.
What picture?
You know, the one that we saw like 10 seconds ago in this video?
We're shooting a video?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Getting back on track here, we obviously just talked about Philip Amatus and Arthur Barlow, the people who led the first voyage. But what about the second voyage?
I know. Call on me!
Yes, Junior.
Sir Richard Grenville.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. What do you know about him?
I don't know, I just wanted to say his name because he has a cool name.
So it's a coincidence that he's the guy I was referring to?
Yeah.
Well, he led the second voyage to Roanoke a few years after the first voyage.
You didn't give me time to say that. You always take my credit for my advanced thinking skills. think you're all smart. Let's test you out. Who was Thomas Harriot?
Thomas Harriot was the guy that trained the colonists. You know, like in Kung Fu.
Want to help out?
Yeah. Watcha! Oh man, what the heck was that for?
Thomas Harriot trained me well.
Okay, so I was just kidding about the Kung Fu. But Thomas Harriot did train the first colonists to travel to Roanoke. Not you. Navigational skills. And he aided John White also in navigational skills.
Well, they seem like they'd be good pals, Thomas and John.
Yeah, they kind of were. I mean, they did conduct studies on Roanoke after all, together.
Didn't they write a book or something?
Yep. Called A Brief and True Report of the Newfound Land of Virginia. Do you know anything about it?
It's a book, I know that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was food.
Good thing I specified.
Well, let's just say we know a lot less about Roanoke without it. It includes a lot of detailed information. One weird thing, though, is the fact that Thomas makes little to no mention of relations with Indians at the time. When he does, though, he described them as peaceful and calm, which wasn't the case at all. In fact, historical evidence states relations with Indians at this time were violent and bloody.
How very, very strange. So, to recap, Sir Richard Raleigh was the creator of Roanoke Island, and John White was the governor. John White had a daughter and a granddaughter who both stayed with 115 colonists. Sadly, they both turned out to be missing. The people who led the first expedition to Roanoke were Philip Amadas and Arthur Barlow. The second leader of the second voyage was Sir Richard Grenville. Lastly, Thomas Harriot was an important trainer and writer of one of the most important books of Roanoke's history that we know to date.
Whoa! You actually paid attention.
No, I just told you, I'm very advanced in my smart thinking skills. So I think it's time to start talking about the basic story.
As in, detail.
No shit.
I think I know a little bit about this. It all began with Sir Walter Raleigh in August of 1855. This was when the colony was first founded.
Okay, what else?
Of course, being a new colony, it had to be funded. Sir Humphrey Gilbert was the founder. However, he later drowned.
Fun.
And his charter was passed to his half-brother, who actually did a great job of executing his Humphrey's wishes. Forrest, what else do you know?
I know about Queen Elizabeth I.
What? Don't you mean Queen Elizabeth the First?
Sure.
Bruh.
Well, do you know anything about her?
I think so. She granted Raleigh a charter for the colonization of North America.
Do you know when?
No.
Well, good thing I do. March 25th, 1584.
What else happened that day, do you know?
No.
I was born.
So you're 415 years old?
No! I don't look like the Jurassic Park guy.
Well, that's not important. What is important is Raleigh's intentions.
I guess, alongside Queen Elizabeth, they both planned to use Roanoke as a kind of treasure island. They wanted to gain riches from the land and use the island as a base for sea dogs to attack the Spanish.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah. I have a question.
No, the video is not over with.
I was gonna ask about who led the first expedition, but oh, no. Fine. Whatever. Nobody cares about you. Forrest? Hey, Forrest, get back here! Hey!
Alright, for anyone who may be wondering, the first expedition was led by Philip Amadas and Arthur Barlow.
Philip and Arthur both ended up taking two natives back to England too. Their names were Monteo and Winchelsea. They described Roanoke in great detail to Sir Richard Raleigh. Because the first expedition didn't go so well, based upon the information he was given, he organized a second expedition to be led by Sir Richard Grenville, but what do I know?
Wait, if you knew that in the first place, why did you ask? Alright, Forrest, now that we covered what happened in the very beginning days of Roanoke, I think it's only fitting that we talk about the first expedition.
No!
Forrest, stop being a drum. Come on.
Fine.
Alright. So, the first fleet of ships to carry the first colonists ever to travel to Roanoke departed England on April 9th, 1585. With the 5 main ships, the Tiger, which was Grenville's, the Roebuck, the Red Lion, the Elizabeth, and the Dorothy.
Sounds like the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, what?
The fleet of ships.
There was no one named Elizabeth or Red Lions in the Wizard of Oz.
Believe what you want to believe.
Back to the story. After departing, the Tiger ended up getting separated from the rest of the fleet.
Luckily, the captains had a plan if they got separated.
And that was to meet up in Puerto Rico.
Yeah!
Yeah!
While Grenville was in Puerto Rico, he established relations with the natives, as all good leaders do.
After a while, the Elizabeth showed up.
But Grenville was impatient and he ended up leaving before all the ships could meet up because he was tired of waiting.
Sounds like someone I know. After departing on June 7th, the Tiger ended up striking a shoal, ruining a lot of food supplies.
However, all the ships got ruined with each other shortly after.
So yes, Grenville did eventually reach Roanoke, along with the other ships.
But wasn't there a relief fleet or something?
Yeah, actually.
I was right!
Yes, calm down. But it didn't fare over so well. You see, the colonists ended up getting in a huge argument with the natives in the Roanoke area, because apparently the natives stole a silver cup or something. And like I said, the Tiger hit a shoal, killing most of their food supplies.
So they sent a relief fleet. But aren't there angry Indians that could possibly kill the colonists?
Yep. But still, Grenville decided to leave 108 men behind on Roanoke, promising to return in the following April with food and supplies.
So they settled down and built a fort, right?
Right. However, April came and Grenville still wasn't back. To make things worse, the natives kept attacking the colonists.
Oh yeah, I remember now. After they attacked, Sir Francis Drake, who had just successfully completed a raid on the Spanish nearby, stopped by Roanoke and offered to take the colonists back to England, and they accepted.
On their way back, they introduced new crops like potatoes, maize, and tobacco.
And after they left, the relief fleet showed up.
Bruh.
Yeah. Precisely. So, when he found the new colony deserted, he left behind another group of men to protect Raleigh's claim, and basically keep Roanoke in hand.
Wasn't there a second voyage?
Yes, hence the first voyage that we were talking about.
I was just making sure.
Anyways, on the second voyage, when they returned for Grenville's men, all they found was a skeleton.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, do you know anything about the voyage?
Yeah, the colonists tried to return to the ship, but the fleet's commander, Simon Fernandez, refused to let them. He insists they establish a new colony in Roanoke.
That's it in a nutshell. John White then set off for England, promising to return soon with supplies and such.
Well, if he said he'd return soon, why'd it take him 3 years?
War with Spain, man!
Oh, right.
It wasn't until 1590 when White returned.
And when he returned, everyone was gone.
That's actually exactly what happened.
Wait, what? Geez, I told you it wasn't a good idea to leave those colonists alone with angry Indians. They'll 360 tomahawk you to death.
Humiliation.
Well, that's just one theory, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Do you know what actually kept White from returning?
Yeah, war with Spain.
Exactly. And then he returned to find, well, nothing. Literally everything was gone. From the houses, to the cannons, to the people. The only thing that remained were a few small cannons, and the word Croton carved into a palisade that had been built around the town. Also, the word Crow carved into a tree near that. I've always wondered what that means.
No one really knows. John White, the governor of Roanoke Colony, took it to mean the colonists had moved to Croton Island, around 50 miles away. But later search revealed none of the settlers on the island.
Interesting.
Yep.
You know, it took really another whole 12 years before he decided to find out what happened to his missing colonists.
Wow, how lazy.
Yeah, sounds like someone I know
What? Who?
standing right next to me.
Who? Is this video over yet?
No! Really?
Bruh.
Really sent out a search expedition in 1602. This was led by Samuel Mace. What is this?
It's Uncle Sam with a mace. Get it? Sam Mace?
Not funny.
I thought so.
Better. So as I was saying, the expedition was led by Samuel Mace.
Raleigh even increased sailors' wages so they wouldn't get distracted by privateering.
However, Raleigh still wanted to make money and ended up landing at Outer Banks, where they gathered organic woods and plants like sassafras to send a decent profit back to England.
When they finally were able to turn their attention to the missing colonists, bad weather forced them to return to England.
They didn't even reach Roanoke Island!
I know. Me too!
Get out of here! You're in the wrong scene and the colony you funded is falling apart!
Fine.
That was weird.
I know.
Wait, well, they never figured out what happened to the colonists. Why didn't they send a second expedition?
Well, Raleigh was kind of arrested.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was arrested for treason.
He deserves.
Get out of here! So what do you think happened with this mysterious disappearance?
Well, there are a lot of theories.
Which one do you believe?
All.
What do you mean?
It was Slender Man.
Aren't you the one that said this wasn't a conspiracy?
Anyways, there are many theories out there.
What are they?
Well, I can only remember a few.
How many?
Well, 4, and I think there are 6, so I got 66.6% of it.
I wonder who did the math. What's the first one you remember?
The first one I remember would be that the people of Roanoke simply left the settlement.
What do you mean? They just picked up and left? Where'd they go?
It is said that they supposedly left Roanoke Island and started settling in Chesapeake Bay.
How did they get there?
Built rafts or a boat of some sort, using materials from apart their houses.
I wish I was that smart. I'm as dumb as a tree.
That's because you are a tree.
Bruh.
Oh, right.
Do you remember any of the theories, Forrest?
Yeah, I actually do.
Well, spit it out, Junior.
Well, I do remember reading about the disease killing off all of the colonists.
Oh, really? Do you remember what disease?
It didn't say, but it was said that the English did bring over some disease. But I think this is a ridiculous theory.
I guess we will never know. I mean, that is why it's a theory, right?
Yeah, oh, and I remember hearing about another theory of them just leaving and settling in Chesapeake Bay.
I wonder where you heard that from.
I don't know, I think my friend talked about it once.
Was that friend possibly me that already mentioned it?
Oh,
Jeez,
yeah.
you need some help.
Yeah, sorry. Do you know any other theories?
Yeah, there's another theory that there was some kind of hurricane that washed away the entire colony.
That's not true, it doesn't even make sense.
What do you mean?
Wasn't there a fence still standing?
Yeah, but I
No, a hurricane couldn't have wiped away a whole settlement and leave a fence standing.
Yeah, I guess if you think about it, it does make sense that this is another ridiculous theory.
Told you I was smart.
Sure. There's also a theory about the colonists going to live with the Indians.
Why would the Indians allow that? They took some of their land.
The theory is that they went to live with the Indian group Croton.
That sounds familiar. I don't know what it is.
That's because it was carved into the fence post.
So, why else would that be carved there if the Crotons didn't have anything to do with this?
That's why this is a more probable theory.
That reminds me, all this Indian talks make me think there was another theory involving Indians.
That's because there is also a theory that Indians killed them off. And hid the bodies and tore down the houses and threw the cannons in the Bay or in the ocean.
Yeah, and not many people know that the Englishmen had before tried to start the colony of Roanoke before. This was a group of 15 men. A little over a year had passed since the first started the colony, before explorers decided to check up on the hopeful progress. What these explorers found was one dead body. It was verified that it was the work of the natives.
And with this, we know the natives were very capable of what I said 30 seconds ago.
Well, this pretty much covers everything. There can't be too much more to talk about. Is this over?
Yeah, actually it is. We covered pretty much everything there is.
Yes, I can sleep now. Tree out.
Well, I guess we can finally end the video. Toast out.